Welcome, ladies, gents, and otherwise amazing people, to another episode of the Coolest Guys You Know podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host with the beard and glasses, Alex Bagley, and alongside me is my co-host, the guy with the mustache, Jack Hevlinger.
How we doing?
We are doing. We're doing. How about that eclipse yesterday?
I got that post-eclipse syndrome.
What does that mean?
Sadness.
An emptiness in my life.
Emptiness.
Honestly,
I get why people go to see eclipses.
Oh, yeah. No, it was actually...
Because we were in Path of Totality.
So. Yeah. Not to brag, but...
Not to brag, but...
Now they can track us. Anybody who's not...
Yeah, that's
who doesn't
true.
know us now knows, like, okay, there's somewhere in this range. Just doxed ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, well, I'm an online goer.
I don't know, you looked at me like you didn't know.
I prefer DDoS. That's my...
What?
DDoS, docs, whatever.
Okay, gotcha. Anyways, after the eclipse got done yesterday, like Sam and Ethan, they were both like, I don't want to work anymore. Like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to live anymore. I don't know why, like the buildup was all nice and everything, but like, I don't know, I felt like a little more deflated than everybody else. Kind of like, oh yeah, it's cool,
Really?
but like, I don't know, I didn't feel like awestruck. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know.
I was awestruck. I mean,
It was cool.
like,
it was really cool.
even like this small sliver still gave so much light. Then like when it went totality, that like instant darkness.
Yeah. Honestly, like, it's not that it didn't have an impact on me. It's just that like it seemed like everybody else was like way more impacted by it than me. Honestly, when I first walked out with the glasses to see like the partial, and I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool."
I
That's
feel like
pretty cool.
you, especially, I thought would be so like, whoa.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm into that type of stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
I've seen so many like renditions of an eclipse that even though it was like, oh, this is live and in person, it was just kind of like, okay, it's not that much different than seeing one in the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, still very cool and a highlight that I would tell my kids about. But
Absolutely.
you know, the next one in this area won't be till 2099. I'd be like 101 years old.
Is that I thought I saw a way further out number. I saw like 24 or
Unless that
something.
was North America, but I thought North America was sooner than... I don't know. I read it a few days ago, and you know, mine's not as good as it used to be.
Because it said the last one, I guess maybe just this area was like 1806, something like that.
I guess it must have been total, because my dad said that he saw one in the 80s, unless he's just lying, but or misremembering. It might have just been a partial.
Partials are still cool, but nothing beats that after experiencing that.
Yeah, being in like direct like path of totality, like we were almost dead center.
Yeah,
path of totality. 1806. I think that was like only a few years after Ohio even became a state.
That sounds right.
I think it was 1803.
Is that right? I thought we were like more like 1850s. I thought
because I just during the trip that I went on, we passed like a barn and it had like the Ohio Bicentennial logo on it, and it was 2003. Okay. So 1803 to 2003.
All right.
And I was like, wow, I was alive for that and I had no idea that happened. And I was like trying to calculate, and I'm like, yeah, I won't hit any of the other benchmarks in my lifetime. Maybe 250 years.
We could hit 300.
I'm
depending
not,
on how this goes, you know, how like medicine and everything goes.
I don't want to live till Ohio is 300 years old. That'd be 2103.
Just a skeleton.
Would be the year that I'd be alive.
It hurt a little bit to get there, but you could make it.
I guess that would only be like 79 years more, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be, hang on while I do math, 104.
104. That's achievable.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see, like in my like 70s, whether or not I want to keep going to like 100s.
That's fair.
Maybe even 60s will give me a glimpse of like.
Yeah.
I mean, here at 25, I can already tell you that my body's breaking down. So
yeah, that's true.
My eyesight has started to go. My back is out. Yeah, I don't know if I can keep up much longer.
Yeah.
50 is my benchmark right now. That's what I'm shooting for. If I can hit 50, I'm in a good place.
I'm just always looking for the next year. If I can just make it 1 year at a time.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I lived another year. This is crazy. So did you have like a spiritual awakening seeing the eclipse? Like your whole life just changed? Like you're like, I'm gonna live my life differently now.
No, I just thought it was really cool.
Nah.
I took a bunch of photos, just did what I did.
I saw so many things saying not. I mean, the total
I had a filter for my.
Yeah, having a filter total eclipse, and then I saw Sam. He was using his glasses to get the partial.
Yeah, that's the way to do it too.
But there were so many pictures, and a lot of them I'm wondering, did they know? Did they just take pictures during the partial without knowing that it's not good? I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, the last time there was a total eclipse in North America, this woman got diagnosed with, I think it's solar something, and it deals with the eyes, and it's incurable, and their vision will go in and out for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
Like it just does its own thing, and there's no way to cure it.
It's crazy.
And it was because she bought glasses that she didn't know were not real and was trying to look at it with them. But I got a refund from Amazon for my glasses because it was not on the official list, but it passed all the checks, and it seemed fine. Though there were a few times where like I'd be a little slow putting the glasses on. Like I'd go to look up and I'm like already putting them on, but I could see like the bright flash, and I'm like, oh. Or like I could see like through my glasses. Like if I bent down like that, I could see it a little bit.
You probably shouldn't be. I mean, like if you look, yeah, but
I wasn't trying. If that's what you're assuming, it was just like I would go to look up and my glasses would like fall down a little bit, and it was kind of like, oh. I mean, I didn't notice anything, and it was just kind of like. It was only for like brief seconds, and it was like bright white, and then that'd be it. Then,
okay.
Yeah.
I also had like so much time to prep because my stepbrother, he like ran the whole ceremony in Cleveland for it this year. He does he's like an astronomer, so because he runs like the planetarium out there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he's like ready for like a vacation. He's like the last 6 months, all he's done is just meetings all the time about it and getting ready.
Yeah, I guess that's probably one of the most important things in the astronomy world, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the path of totality.
It's also crazy that we got an eclipse since the Earth is flat. Like, how does that even work?
I know, right? Yeah, no. Also, like, I didn't look direct. Like, even though I like it, it was always like the edge. It was never like I saw the full on. It would be like I don't know what you call it, like the rays sticking out, like because we were underneath of the roof in front of the front doors.
Okay, yeah.
Like we were standing under there, and then we'd like peek out, and sometimes if you didn't get your glasses on, you'd peek out, and the roof would like end, and so if you didn't have your glasses on, you'd just get like that flash of light. I was like, you gotta be careful going through that roof because it just flashes if you get too far.
Was work busy after that? Were people like coming in? Really?
We were so dead.
Oh,
I was so dead.
Everybody's trying to get out of Dodge after that.
Yeah, I was in theater. So prior, because I thought there was a potential. I figured one or the other could potentially be busy, and I couldn't figure out which one. So I guessed morning because I was like, maybe people won't have anything to do beforehand.
Right.
So there was a shit ton of stuff going on. We had downtown.
Yeah. Downtown was like, if it looked like that all the time in the summer, it'd be so nice. Just people walking around everywhere, like things happening.
There were quite a few people walking around today. I mean, it is nice out. But yeah, you kind of threw me off my trail. Oh yeah. So apparently I watched Dune, so that's pretty long. There was one other person in there. By the time I got out of Dune, I was one of 4 people in the building that weren't employees. Well, I was an employee off duty.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 people got out of Godzilla at like 2:50. Okay. And that was the last people in the building until like 4. Or not even, because I don't even think we had showtimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it took a while. And yeah, it was 23 people by the time the eclipse got done. And there was that big gap during the eclipse, which wouldn't have mattered because nobody attempted to come in.
Yeah.
Which is why I think
Thank God.
It's so funny that we got a little grilled.
I know.
With that gap crazy. In the movie schedule. And honestly, it was kind of a waste of a day. We barely passed 100, and we were
Oh,
I Haley up projections to 400 from like 300.
okay.
Still, we were way over. So
Yeah.
which is good, because usually there are those idiots that don't give a shit about anything
Could
like
you
that.
imagine if people tried to come in and watch a movie during a total solar eclipse when you're right in the path of totality?
Yep. There are some people who are just like, I don't give a shit. And they're like, I'm going to do what I want. And we didn't get to any of those people at the theater anyways.
That's the first time ever.
Because working in fast food, there would be times where like, it's like snowing like crazy outside. And there was one time that we had just entered a level 3 and we're about to close down. But like as we were entering it, just like 5 trucks pulled in the parking lot, and all these guys got out because they had the big snow tires, and they had their trucks lifted, so they were just like, we can deal with the snow, and they're like, let's get some food, and it's like, okay, but you got to take it to go because we're about to close.
Yeah. We get that all the time too. We get people coming in, and it's like level 3. It's like, we're shutting down right now. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Or there's like a tornado warning, and people are just like, let me get
let me head outside and take a look at this here.
What's going on? There's tornado warning? What does that even mean?
What's going home.
What's a tornado?
The people who leave and go home during that is crazy. It's like, wow, I can't believe it.
What's some wind? You're telling me you're going to shut down for some wind?
Y'all ever been on like a boat or something? Lots of wind out there.
There were... watching the trailers, I'm kind of interested by like some movies like Twisters, just because of Glenn Powell.
That's like Glenn Powell. Yeah,
I just want to see. It looks like he had like a lot of fun in that role. It's just kind of like the cowboy, like.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Storm Chaser. Have you still not seen the trailer for it?
No.
Oh, I thought you had.
No.
Yeah, no. It just looks like. I mean, nothing crazy. It looks like one of those ridiculous kind of disaster movies, which I used to watch a lot as a kid. I used to love, like, I'd watch 2012 a lot, or Day After Tomorrow. We watched it in school, too.
Really?
Yeah. I have no idea why. I have no idea why.
Teacher's like, this is freaking epic. You guys are going to watch that.
I honestly, that was a teacher who was pretty laid back. Like, he would just play music all the time, and it was always, like, cool music.
Okay,
he was, like, the cool teacher. So I think there was a day where it was just kind of like loosely, very, very loosely related to something we had talked about. And so we just watched it, which I think Jake Gyllenhaal is in that.
2012?
No, Day After Tomorrow.
Oh.
That's the one where they're in New York and it freezes over.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe because I don't remember that. Like, I remember parts of the movie, but that was in the time where I didn't know big actor names, or at least not that many. So it's like, I'd have to rewatch it. But I thought I had heard that Jake Gyllenhaal was in it. I thought somebody brought that up. I don't think anybody big's in 2012. Maybe what's his face who does all Gerard Butler. I think he might have been.
That'd be really funny if he was in that.
But maybe not. I don't know.
Because he was in what?
He was in Geostorm.
That's right, Geostorm. And Greenland.
What's Greenland?
It's like the meteor one. It's like a bunch of meteors are hitting Earth.
Why is it called Greenland?
I don't know. It's just him like driving away from meteors. Like, I'm getting my family to safety.
Okay.
Did you, speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, have you seen the new Roadhouse or seen anything about it?
I mean, I've seen a lot of articles about it, but I had no interest. I haven't even seen the original Roadhouse.
Original is like, people call it bad good. Like, I think it's my guilty pleasure. Like, I enjoy watching Roadhouse.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah.
Although,
I like Patrick
kind of.
Swayze.
I was going to say kind of because it's like toxic masculine.
Sam Elliott in that is so good, though.
Is Sam Elliott in that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's so good in that. He's like the old mentor,
I haven't seen a lot of Patrick Swayze movies because I've not seen, I want to say Footloose, but it's not Footloose. It's the other one, Dirty Dancing.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen Dirty Dancing. I haven't seen Point Break.
Point Break he's very good in Point Break. Roadhouse, he's just, he plays like the whatever.
Is that the movie where he says nobody puts baby in a corner?
That's
was
Dirty Dancing.
Okay. Really? I would not have.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a dancing movie to me.
I know. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I would think that'd be like in the fighting movie.
Right. He wasn't in Donnie. I always forget he's in Donnie Darko, though. He's pretty good in that.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Who was he in?
He's like the pastor who ends up being like a pedophile.
God, I don't remember that. He was also in Ghost, too, wasn't he?
Oh, I forgot about Ghost. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost is fun.
I watched. My mom would put it on a lot because my mom's a big Patrick Swayze fan. Which is why it's so surprising that I've never seen Dirty Dancing. It's literally my mom's favorite movie, and I've never seen it. Somehow, I didn't watch all of Ghost, but I saw a lot of it growing up because I think it was always on TV. So
I feel like that was just on TV a lot. I feel like I remember seeing that on TV as a kid too.
that was one of the things about staying in a hotel, either way, over the weekend was like anytime you stay in one, it's always like, oh, cable TV.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I never have to deal with it outside of that.
Which is kind of funny because it's not like bad. It's just kind of nostalgic. It's like, oh yeah, I remember cable. Cable has its quirks, you know, that you kind of.
I mean, it's got sports.
Well, like when you're in the hotel or whatever, like I think one of the go-tos for me, anyways, and I didn't control the controller, my brother did, but like Adult Swim's always an easy one. It's just like
we always went for movies.
Yeah, we're not. I don't really like watching because when I'm not actually gonna watch it when I turn it on. It's just kind of like background noise.
Okay.
And I didn't even turn it on this time. But yeah, like Family Guy, American Dad. Also, I used to watch that a lot as a kid. Like that was what I'd watch on cable.
I feel like everybody watched those.
I didn't watch a lot of movies on cable because I hated getting into a movie like in the middle of it. I always wanted to watch from the beginning. So if I didn't find a movie as it was starting, I'd only stick to TV shows.
Oh, okay. I feel like there's probably a lot of movies. There's some movies where I remember, like, I definitely just, like, Disturbia. I watched, like, the end of that on cable. Because I was always I always thought it was really scary when I was a kid. When he, like, rolls under the garage at the end to go in the house.
I've never seen it.
I'm like, oh, my God.
I've never seen it. That's, like, Rear Window, like, is...
Yeah. I think they got sued because it was so Rear Window-esque.
Yeah,
Not as good as Rear Window.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hitchcock. It's hard to be Hitchcock.
When you have Shia.
Or Jimmy Stewart, too.
Yeah.
I think Shia is not a bad actor.
He's all right.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen him in anything.
I don't think he's done anything in a while.
He did Peanut Butter Falcon, which I was going to watch, but I didn't get around to watching it.
Pardon me. That's my bad.
Just hearing that. Girl.
I can't control my throat, you know.
All right.
My throat noises.
Yeah. It's just biological.
Yeah.
Still
it's
funny.
Just a body.
Still funny.
Yeah.
Biology's funny.
Dude, I went through my biology course. It was just a hoot and a holler.
Funniest thing I've ever been through. I laughed the entire time. So like that's the penis, even though it's health class, not biology. But oh, look at it.
That would be really weird if your biology teacher's like, "This is a penis."
I mean, it'd be really weird if any teacher just pulled out a penis and said, "Here's a penis."
Yeah, I mean, an anatomy teacher maybe.
If it's not,
if you're dissecting.
I don't even think it'd be legal to dissect a human penis in high school.
It didn't have to be a human.
That's true, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be like child abuse either way. I don't think it really matters. You save that type of stuff for college when you can just abuse everyone in the way that you please, because it's voluntary at that point. You're choosing to be abused, so it's okay. What's going on in the life of Jack?
Dude, we didn't do our weather check today.
It's very eclipsey outside.
It is. It's so eclipsey.
The eclipse, weather check? The eclipse has not gone away.
Weather check? We're in shambles out here.
It's just total darkness. The sun is gone. We're all going to die.
No, the life of Jack, nothing has happened since the last time. I don't think I've done like almost anything. Oh, that's real sad.
Aw.
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right, but it'll get better, baby.
It's just been working. And then, because we've had like the higher up at work for my job, who's doing stuff upstairs that I have to.
Oh, yeah.
So, a lot of my time has been taken up with that kind of stuff.
Started playing solitaire. That's a habit that I've picked up now from the trip that I went.
Oh, like physical?
Yeah, I just because we played a lot of cards, and then my brother would just want to. It was just kind of like we both decide like, oh, we're kind of bored of playing cards, and then I would just be like, okay, let's play some solitaire. And so now I've just been playing a shit ton of solitaire by myself.
That's hard. Like actual solitaire is tough. I'm surprised.
What do you mean?
Like just like full on, like with the actual cards as opposed to like digital.
How is it tough?
Well, because you can like digital, there's like the easy, medium, hard, whatever. Like it has levels to it. But just having like the true randomness of the deck, like that can be tough.
Solitaire is super easy. Because I mean, first off, I think I've definitely started to notice that like you win the majority of the time. It's very hard to lose in solitaire.
Okay.
At least in real life. I don't know. Maybe the hard level of a video of the computer version is more difficult. But no, it's fine. Also, I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of like a more what's the term I'm searching for? Like an ADHD toy that like keeps your mind busy, but it's longer term, so it kind of like stretches out my attention. Because it's still the same thing where it's like it doesn't really matter if I win or lose because I can just play another game and I can just keep going as long as I want. And it's, if you're successful, it organizes the deck nice and neat, and then you got to shuffle. So it's kind of like a long term ADHD toy in a way.
It is crazy how that's so old man that it's like something I should do, but you do it.
Yep, I can be old man. I'm very old man in a lot of respects.
Wearing a pink flamingo shirt.
I mean, I'm versatile. I'm youthful still. I am still 25, but I have a lot of qualities that I think are very old man-esque. I drink hot tea almost every day.
Yeah, the young people like tea these days. Ever hear of boba?
But it's mostly females. There's not a lot of guys that I hear saying that they drink hot tea.
Maybe not willingly admit it.
That's true. Everybody's is a closet hot tea drinker. Every guy is a closet hot tea drinker.
I used to drink a lot of hot tea when I was a kid.
Just interrogate him. Jack, you're not the average kid. Let me just put this out of the way now. So many of your habits are not average for kids.
Like, you wouldn't just go to a restaurant as a kid?
No.
No. Most restaurants have hot tea. Because I know that from when I was a kid, I'd order hot tea at like every restaurant.
I never had a drop of hot tea when I was a kid.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like hot tea's definitely come back, but I feel like also sweet tea is the big one. Like nice cold sweet tea is one which I don't drink sweet tea at all. And I hate unsweet tea.
Oh, I see. I like unsweet tea though. Cold unsweet tea.
Unsweet tea is so freaking bitter. It's disgusting. I've never tried sweet tea. I haven't had too much of an interest. I'm pretty comfortable with just water.
Unsweet tea in like the summer, it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good.
I did drink a lot of hot chocolate as a kid. That was like my hot drink.
That's like a lot of kids. Hot drink.
Average kid.
I mean, average kid might have hot tea all the time too. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We haven't done a study yet. Yeah, a study. As of now, Jack is still officially an average kid because there's no proof he wasn't.
Correct. Until we release multiple studies that show I'm not the average person, I can claim I'm the average person.
I can still hold to that.
Well, you guys didn't play with model guns when you were a kid?
I mean, maybe not model guns, but playing with guns is a pretty young boy thing.
Well, like they were like heavy, like I could barely hold them. That is true.
I mean, some of the airsoft guns are pretty heavy. I played a lot of airsoft gun. Or is played even the I guess correct term, and it wasn't mine. I never owned one, but my friend across the street had a few, and then all my other friends would bring theirs, and we liked inflicting pain on each other. Go figure. Yeah. For young kids, young boys.
I'm trying to think of other things I might have done as a kid. That could be because I always figured, I'm the average guy.
I mean, everybody thinks they're average.
I'm trying to think of what else could be construed as like, oh, that's freaking weird for you to do.
I actually think that it's funny. I think everybody who thinks that they're average is kind of weird in some aspects, and everybody who thinks they're like super weird aren't really that weird. It's just that they're more open about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel so average. It's hard for me to think of things that I just feel so normal, man.
See, I thought you would think immediately be like, oh, playing solitaire by himself, that's a very Alex thing. I thought that would be like
that doesn't feel super Alexy to me.
What do you think would have been like a super Alex
like hobby sort of thing to
Yeah,
do
like in
to
place
pass the
of
time.
solitaire.
Like I feel like I could see you being like, yeah, I'm into knitting now. Like I knit.
I do want to figure out how to sew, but I still haven't done that. But I need to because my work pants have a hole.
Oh, yeah, a huge hole.
But that's the only reason I want to know how to sew is just for the
I feel like it'd be easy. I feel like you probably just do it.
I don't think it's going to be too hard, especially once I get into it. I mean, I'm pretty capable of picking up most things.
I feel
It's
like
just
you wouldn't
whether
even
or
need to
not.
watch a video. I feel like you just literally just.
No, I'm gonna make sure I do it correctly.
I feel like I could do it and just not.
This is the difference between me and you: is I'm willing to read the instructions. You're like, I can just figure it out.
Well, like sewing has to be easy. I mean, I feel like everybody can do it.
But yeah, no, I only want to do it for the practicality of it,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to like bother my grandma or my mom every time.
Right.
Which I would do if it was more convenient for me to do. The fact that I had to drive out to no, it's both. It's that it's not convenient for me and it's not convenient for them. So
Yep.
just figuring out how to do it on my own, and it's becoming growingly more important for me to actually do it so that I can fix my work pants.
Yeah.
My blanket's got a little bit of a tear in it.
I would get a new blanket. I wouldn't fix
I know
a blanket.
you would. I know how you would.
blanket's not worth
It's
fixing.
like the most meager tear, like so easy to fix, and you're like, just get a new one.
It's a blanket. I'd get new pants too, though. I wouldn't fix the hole.
I did finally throw out I dropped two of my mugs for my tea.
Jeez.
And so the one I just threw away because it immediately got like, I don't even know why, because my floors are pretty clean, but somehow I got like just nasty when it dropped. Because it was wet still. But because I had just gotten it out of actually I don't remember how it. I don't think it was that dirty. I just gave up on it. Because I just washed it and I put it on the drying rack and it was too heavy because I had too many
the rack
cups.
tipped.
Because I drink so much hot tea now that every time I go to do dishes, I have like six
yeah.
mugs, and I'm like trying to fit them into the sides of my my strainer or my drying rack, and the one there was just too much, and it just flipped out and hit in the sink and shattered. And I was just like, whatever, I'm getting rid of it. It was just like a basic, boring brown one. But the other one, a friend had actually gifted me, and I really liked it because it had like all these. It was opening sentences for all these different literary books, classic literature.
Oh, wow.
Like really famous opening lines. And that one broke. I don't remember. It didn't like shatter like the other one. I dropped it, I think, in the same sink, and it just had like massive cracks and was like very flimsy and was very obvious. Like, one, if I put my mouth there, I was probably gonna cut my lip or tongue. But two, very likely to just snap at some point.
Yeah.
But I tried to hold on to it because I was like, maybe I can just like fix it somehow. And so I like looked up and everything kept saying like, just regular super glue should be fine. So I did it. And then like after letting it dry and washing it, I was just like, feeling around the inside. I'm like, I don't know, I can still feel the super glue there. And it is a hot substance I'll be putting into this. So what if it melts into my hot tea and I drink?
I'd be more worried about the hot tea expanding it again and then it just start leaking.
But either way, I was just like,
I can't believe you hot glued it. That's crazy. I would. Or
it wasn't
hot
glue,
super glue.
Super glue.
I would not have gone that far.
I really wanted to keep that cup because it was a really cool cup, and it was a gift too. But no, I threw it out just today.
You've broken a lot of dishes. I feel like in your in and around your sink.
I'm a clumsy person.
Was it like one of the first nights you washed dishes in there? You cut your thumb or hand?
Yeah. So there was it was the first time I ever did dishes in the apartment.
That's crazy.
It was
I feel
only
like I'm so much more clumsy than you.
The second or third day. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, Jack. I don't know what you want from me. No,
I just can't believe how many. I feel like I've never heard of somebody breaking that many.
I mean, who talks about breaking their dishes that often?
Yeah. You're like Gerald Ford level of like clumsiness.
I'm just very honest, all right? I'm very honest about what happens to me, all right?
I am too. I'm an upstanding citizen.
I think I made the mistake. I don't even remember how it happened, but I think I put the glasses in before I put the plates in or whatever. And like, it just like smacked. It was too many dishes basically.
Yeah.
And the cup broke without me noticing. Like I didn't hear it break. And so when I went to grab it and clean it, I went to shove my hand in and it was right at the part where it broke and it sliced me.
Ooh.
Like immediately. Like right as I was like, oh no. It was just like too late.
That's crazy.
I was just like, wait. It's just like too late. Yeah, that was crazy. Like,
I couldn't believe you went to the hospital for that too.
oh no, it was needed. It was needed.
Like I've like cut into my thumb with like knives before trying to cut bread and stuff, and I don't know.
I sliced this thumb at Arby's, and that was pretty bad. Both times, this one wasn't quite as bad. This time I almost passed out, but both times I could tell I was losing a lot of blood because I was starting to get lightheaded.
I mean, I think you can't lose that much through like a hand or finger.
Like you're capped off by how much blood you have. At some point, you're gonna run out of all of it. So you just ride it out.
We just keep making blood. What do you mean?
Yeah,
we just make it.
You just gotta keep eating cookies, and then you'll just keep making more blood. No, that was. I joked on Facebook with one of my. I think it was one of my aunts. I was like, did the blood sacrifice to my apartment, to christen it.
Oh, okay.
I christened my apartment with a blood sacrifice. Because it was only a couple days after I moved. After all the stress of moving there.
Right.
Then I had to deal with that. I was like so just like done. Because I also had to wait, like, because nobody else, I didn't know. I had my friend Dylan, I think had already moved here. But I was just like, yeah, I just had to wait for my, like, it was late at night because we were at the campgrounds. My family is camp at campgrounds out an hour away or so. And I just gotten back from the drive home. So it was like 10-ish at night, maybe even 11. Like it was pretty late. It was pretty late to be doing dishes.
Yeah.
But, and so I had to like call my dad, who thankfully had come back from the campgrounds. It wasn't still out there. So it was only a half an hour trip for him but I had to wait for him to, I was just outside with my hand above my head.
You weren't going to, you couldn't drive?
It was on my hand. I didn't want to have to try and drive with that. If I really needed to, I guess.
I never want to call people to help me.
It wasn't even the hand thing. It was more that I was very afraid of passing out. And I was like, because of the last time I cut myself, I knew how lightheaded I got. Right. And I was like, if I faint while driving, that's not great either. So, yeah, no, I just waited. And, yeah. Doctor told me when he was sewing me up, he's like, you're very calm about this. I was like, what can I do about it? I was like, like it happened. All right. I can't take it back. Yeah. Good times. It was very weird because I was like, I didn't notice it as much with this when I got this sewed up. But when he was sewing this, like, even though it was numb, I could still feel the yanking.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's such a uncomfortable feeling to just
like
feel
you get like your teeth pulled out or something and they numb it. Like you still feel like all that pressure of them like pulling stuff out.
Or when they numb my eyes and then they're like clearing out the
oh my
layer.
God. I would straight up. I don't know. I don't think I can do it.
It's just the second time it didn't feel as quick. I will say that. But the first time it was so quick. I was just like, what's going on? Just like, whoa.
I don't think I can do that.
No, getting the procedures done in my eyes taught me a lot about just enduring, just going through it. You just gotta go through.
Eye stuff is like, that's almost to the brink for me.
Everybody says that. Whenever I tell them that, they're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, well, I didn't have much choices. Either that or go pretty much blind.
Yeah.
And it was better than having to get my retinas completely, replaced in surgery. Yeah. So that would have been worse.
Blind almost seems like on character for you though, to become like a blind poet. Like a Homer.
But it's only legally blind. It's not like I can't see anything. It's just that it's so blurry that it's like I'm basically blind. Because I can't.
Or them Coke bottles.
Yeah. I don't think there was any way that they could have helped me with glasses or anything. I don't think I would have been legally able to drive.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures doing the comparison of like what it's like to be completely, and yeah, it's pretty blurry. It's pretty bad. To be a blind poet, like Stevie Wonder, is that how you see me? Is like Stevie Wonder?
I thought I was thinking more Homer, but I guess Stevie Wonder. Yeah,
oh, yeah, Homer was blind, wasn't he?
Just like some guy wandering around,
It would be harder for me to write if I was blind because I write. I don't like speaking my poems.
I mean, I feel like you can write without looking.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty easy.
I was during like the follow up to my procedure, the recovery. I was in the dark and I wanted to write one of my journals, and I was like, man, I really can't see anything. So I can't turn on the lights. My eyes just cannot take it. I was like, you know what? I can just do it. I can just focus as much as I can, see as much as I can. I just need to find a blank page and just kind of write. Who cares how it looks? So I was like, okay, this page is blank, and I was just kind of writing. I was like, it's not hitting the lines, but it's whatever. That's fine. I look at it like a few days later, and I had written already on that page like a whole paragraph, and then I just wrote over it, and I'm like, now I can't read any of it.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, yep.
I feel like, are you someone, you must not mind moving because you've had a lot of moves recently.
I mean,
because like you're moving again here in the summer. You moved just a few years ago.
it's not great, but like life goes where it needs to go. I don't know. Like
I hate moving so much. I will actively I will drive a long distance to stay in this apartment.
you know, one of the things they say that impacts happiness is how long your commute is. Like the longer your commute, the less happy a person tends to be.
I don't think that would be true. I enjoy like music so much, and I love driving so much.
I do enjoy like a nice little commute, but there is like sometimes like when it's work related, it does kind of wear on you because it's just like that's a whole like hour of your day that's just spent in the car after you worked like 9 hours.
I mean, my father commuted an hour and a half each way, so 3 hours total every day for like over a decade. So I'm always like, I feel like I can like do an hour easily.
I mean, people can do whatever they want. People are pretty capable.
Yeah, they can be. I am not as capable as some humans.
The human mind and body is pretty capable of adapting to whatever situation you put it in.
Darwin, you know?
Yeah, evolution. No, I very much mind moving. It's not fun. When I moved back here, I was like, that's why I've been here for 2 years. It's because it's like, I don't want to have to go through that again. Of course, I moved almost 12 hours away.
Yeah.
So... and then moved 12 hours back. So
that was my apartment is just so cheap. I can't like give it up.
Yeah. No, I
even if I move somewhere, might like actually keep my apartment still here.
If you can afford it. I like my apartment. It's just that, and I'm like, that is one of the things where I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to move again. And I really like the comfortability of my apartment. And I know since I'm moving for grad school that I'm probably going to have to move again in like a couple more years.
Yeah.
So like wherever I'm going, it's going to be temporary. But this was supposed to be temporary. Yeah. So I wasn't supposed to spend my whole life here. It was not the plan when I moved back. It was regather myself and figure out what the heck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because going to South Carolina didn't really lead to anything I wanted. So
I feel like I probably will move somewhat soon just because I'm coming to I feel like the end of my time at this job. And probably move on to something else here. So,
yeah, I was told that by Haley, and I was like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Because once you're not going to be there, once like Kirk's not going to be there, I'm stuck with some people. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. And plus, it's like I'm about to hit kind of the cap of where this job's going to take me, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, things move on.
Yep,
time passes,
dude. Oh, if I could just find a way to live in Boston and work there.
You know, you can just move to Boston.
After reading all these Spencer novels, I just want to be a private investigator in Boston. That's literally my dream right now.
You could just do that if you want to.
Oh, no, but trust me, I've looked at private investigator licenses in almost every state. Man, I got to do some sort of investigative work. I have to be a police officer for a few years.
How badly do you want it if you're not willing to put in the work to be?
I mean, I'd have to go through a police academy and be a police officer.
All I'm hearing is I want to be a private investigator, but I don't really want to be a private investigator.
I want to be a private investigator, but I just want to do it now.
I don't want to. I just if I could just
let me investigate and carry a gun now, please, state of Ohio.
No, I'm very happy that you can.
Let me go around and investigate.
Give me a license to kill. A license to kill, please. Give me indiscriminatory. License to murder.
I use it for good, I swear.
I swear I don't have a list of people that would be first on my list.
I swear I'm not connected to those murders, officer.
I was investigating them.
I lost my gun, I swear.
I was investigating who did the murders.
I'm with you guys.
I was chasing down a serial killer by replicating his murders so that he would come out of hiding in jealousy.
It's like I want to be a police officer for a while because I want to be a teacher.
I could see you as a police officer.
But the teaching job is changing so much right now. I don't want to have to deal with all the politics and bureaucracy of teaching now. And it's the same way with police officer now too. It's like I don't want to have to deal with all the kind of run-of-the-mill shit.
I say that too about dealing with the bureaucracy and crap, but the truth is that bureaucracy is in like every job.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going for mental health counseling and just talking to my therapist. She's like, well, there's a lot of bureaucracy in therapy too. A
It's
lot
just
of
so much more out there for policing and teaching.
no, policing is, oh man, so rough. Just listen to my girlfriend
I'm sure,
talk.
yeah.
It is not something that I would have ever done. It does not sound like a fun gig.
And teaching with all the like politics getting in it now, I'm like, I'm really glad I got out of that actually, because I really don't have to deal with that now.
Yeah, I still thought about teaching some point in my life. I feel like I'd make a better professor. I don't know. I think I could be a pretty cool high school teacher.
You could,
but
you'd for sure be a cool high school teacher. I still think about that. I still think about going back sometimes for high school teaching because I love history. I'm like, I wouldn't mind just teaching history. But
can you guess what you think?
I mean, I feel like English. Yeah, I would say, yeah. That is not the hardest thing to guess.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is, and I was like, no, it's not that hard to guess. Though when I was in high school, I would have never have thought English because I wasn't very good at English, or I wasn't like excelling in English in school, like ever.
You probably didn't have like your awakening to that stuff yet.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked writing to some extent. Like when I was a kid, I'd write comics, but I always liked the cartoons a little bit more than the writing part. And I'd write stories here and there growing up, but I think it was more like an insecurity for one thing, for sure, because it's like, it's not cool to be a guy who likes poetry and writing.
Right.
So I just kind of like don't even consider it as an option, I guess. Like in almost everything in school interested me, to be quite honest. Like there wasn't a subject where I was like, I don't need this. It was just kind of like, not very cool to like school. So,
yeah.
Like secretly I'm enjoying the crap out of it, but it's just kind of like, and then I'm pretty lazy.
Yeah.
I can be a big lazy procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like that's every single person in our generation, though. We are the biggest procrastinators.
Yeah.
I was once doing a presentation. It was me and my friend. We had all of our classes lined up for the last 2 years of high school. So we just kind of were always with each other because like we didn't actually do anything in high school. So we were just playing games the whole time. And we had a presentation due the next day. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And we had like a week or so to do it. And I log on and we still hadn't done anything. And then like a minute later, he logs on and we're just typing to each other in the slide. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. He's like, I don't want to do this either. And we're like, study hall? Like, yeah, we'll do it in study hall before class.
Yep.
And it was like, that was probably the worst grade we got on a presentation too. Cause we're like,
I got, I think a D in one of my college courses in high school. It was Comp 2 because one of the biggest grades was this one essay and I had to work the day that it was due and I'd procrastinate till the day was due. And so like I was running up against the timeline. I'm like, that's the deadline right there. I just have to submit what I already have. And I didn't have that much. So yeah, I got pretty bad grade on that and it ended up hurting me. I was able to get my degree. So, and I never got brought up in any of the stuff like after that. Cause I think, I don't remember if it's a D or an F that you had to pay for one of those courses.
Okay, yeah.
Because I thought I was going to have to pay for it, but I never had to. So
I had one in high school where it was a history one. And I was like, we didn't do a whole lot. So the final essay was worth like a lot. And it was like, probably like had to be like a 10 or 13 page essay. And so, of course, I waited till the night before. I was like, wow, this is actually going to like, I actually have to like put some effort into this because this is going to be long. And he's like, he knows what he's looking for. So I stayed up all night and then like school time came around. I was like, shit, I can't go to school. I'm not done yet. So I didn't go to school that day. I submitted it like 10 minutes before his due time at like 2 p.m. And then immediately he got back to me. I was like, great, 99. I was like, holy shit. Like, how did I pull that off?
Oh, yeah. No, my mom used to always joke about me as a kid because I would procrastinate, but then I'd always weasel my way to a... I was like, what are you doing? I thought you were muting me. It's like, I'm in the middle of telling a story.
You're done. I'm not listening.
So anyway. Oh, man. But yeah, no, I would procrastinate a lot as a kid. And there was quite a few times where I would like swindle my way out of projects by just somehow talking the teacher out of it.
Right.
Like there was the one time in 5th grade where we had to like invent something. Like make an invention of some sort. And I couldn't figure out anything. So what am I supposed to just invent?
Yeah,
I gotta know.
That's a really dumb one.
Yeah, so I thought about like a peanut butter maker, but like, it's like what? How am I supposed to put stuff together to do this? And so I just put it off because I'm like, whatever, it's stupid. And then I'm like, oh, I got to do this. And so what I ended up doing the night before it was due was basically I was like trying to figure it out, and it was only then that I let my parents know that I had to do it. So they got peanuts, and we got like one of those like meat tenderizer, like mallet things. And it ended up just being like me taking peanuts and putting them in and then just mashing them up and just trying to make peanut butter that way. Oh, it took so long, and it was still so chunky of peanut butter. And I was just sitting there doing this. Not at all an invention. It was just me. But she felt so bad that I put so much effort into trying to make this peanut butter.
That's amazing.
That I got like a C or a B.
Wow.
And then there was another one where in middle school, it was a history class, and we were supposed to do paper mache. Make a paper mache. I think it was something, I don't remember why that was a project in that class, but we were partnered up, and me and my partner, I didn't have a cell phone at the time, and I knew the partner, but I didn't know him that well. And we just didn't talk to each other. And then like the day before it was due, I had no way to contact him, and I was just like, well, I got to figure something out. And paper mache takes way too long.
Oh yeah.
So just got like a square piece of cardboard and then just taped it with white tape, colored the whole thing white, and then got a black marker and made it into like a die. And then he was like, Alex, this isn't what you're supposed to do. Like, cause he's a really nice teacher. Like he's older, and he's like, Alex, like, what is this? Like, this isn't what you're supposed to do. And like, well, I couldn't talk to my partner at all. Like I never saw him. I had no way to contact him. And this is just all I could do. And he ended up giving me like a B on it.
Dang.
Either a C or a B. Yeah. On both of them. Yeah.
I had one where it was like a science fair. And, of course, I waited till the night before. And so I was like, wow, I have no idea what to do here. I was looking around my house for anything. I was like, oh, pepper. Like pepper might it's supposed to make you sneeze, right? So my thing was, it was snorting pepper and then seeing if I sneezed.
How old were you?
I was like probably like 13 or 12 or something like that. And so I'm just sitting there in the kitchen like snorting pepper and waiting like, am I going to sneeze? And I never sneezed once. And I turned this in, and they were like, "This is so bad, Jack." It was so funny though. I look back on that. That is so funny to me that I did that. Just like pepper on the counter and then just snorting it. Because I was like, I don't know how they make it, how it makes you sneeze, but I think you're supposed to like inhale it.
I can't believe you didn't sneeze, to be quite honest. That's like the most surprising part of the story.
No, because I think I tried like different amounts and different nostrils because you have to make it like scientific.
This sounds very scientific, to be quite honest with you.
And I never sneezed once. I was like, this must not be real or I'm doing it wrong because I didn't ever sneeze. Hang on.
Oh no, that's the first time we've ever done that in the middle of recording. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. No, that's one of those things where I think, like I was saying, like we're just too honest sometimes, but it's to your benefit sometimes. Sometimes the teachers just take pity on you for being like,
you're real dumb, aren't you?
Let me give you like he's dumb, but he's being honest about it. So he did his best, He's not trying to swindle me. He's just an idiot. Give him his passable grade and let him go.
It's amazing.
So much in college though. I would procrastinate, and then by college you're like having to write.
I know.
So much.
Yeah, it was not helpful in college.
So many nights staying up so late, do it like completely stressed out. Just like, oh, how am I going to do this? Like, this is so difficult. And it's just like, such a pain.
Crunch.
And it's like, I could have just done it sooner.
I know.
But no regrets.
No
regrets.
Well, in high school, it's so easy to procrastinate too, because high school is like kind of easy.
That's one of the things that I've just noticed as I've gotten older is it's like, sometimes you're just not motivated to do something because it's either easy or stupid. And like, that's a okay thing to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of high school and school in general can be stupid. So all the guidelines and everything can be quite tedious.
Yeah.
That's the bureaucracy part. Not that it's unimportant to learn in school. I think there's a lot you can learn.
Oh, yeah.
But the focus is kind of in the wrong area. It's not about teaching you.
You don't also learn like too many important like life things that can help you out. Like just show me how to work TurboTax.
Yeah, that kind of just falls on your parents, I feel like. And if your parents just for some reason didn't think to tell you that stuff, or you don't go to ask your parents when you actually have to do it, right. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I just got to figure it out on my own. But I've always liked to learn things on my own. Yeah. I feel like I do a better job of learning things on my own.
I feel like I can. Well, I try to figure things out on my own. I don't always do well, but I feel like everything's so easy. I'm just like, let me just do it.
I do like seeing examples first, because I want to know. I struggle with like, okay, I want to do it the way that you want me to do it. So show me the way that you want me to do it. If like you don't give me much instruction, you keep it very general. I'm like, okay, but is this right? Is this the way you want it done?
I try to look it up. I'm like, I really don't care. I'm just going to do it. And I do it. I'm like, wow, this did not turn out right.
Honestly, that was the thing I struggled with most and why I procrastinated most in college was because not a lot of professors would give you exactly what they wanted.
There was some vagueness.
It'd be like, write this. And it's like, okay, but how? How do you want me to write that? How do you want me to structure that? And so I'd have to like look up examples and just eventually just grind it out. And then they'd be like, this is great. And I'm like, oh, so just do what I wanted, whatever was necessary, whatever came to my mind. But
also, I went into college not knowing how to study, which didn't help either.
Oh yeah, no, I still don't know how to study.
No, I was like, what am I supposed to do? Dude, people really just look at this stuff at night?
No, I think a lot. There are some people that do function that way, I think.
Oh, there'd be people in high school, they take like super detailed notes. They'd come back, they'd have it like highlighted. They'd bring in note cards. I'm like, how are you this organized and studying? Like, I also never got like, how do you have to study that much to remember it?
Yeah. I feel like it is like because most of these things have come easy to me growing up. So like there was no reason to study. I feel like the people that do that usually are the ones that struggle more with like, memory was always an easy thing for me. I've pretty good memory recall for tests and everything. That's why tests were always so easy. Because if I got a study guide, more than likely I was going to pass the test. Because I could just remember everything off the study guide for the most part. I'd forget things here and there. But my study habits were literally like, okay, learned everything in class, do the bare minimum outside of class, get your homework done, do the study guide. But it was, I didn't put much effort in outside of school. And then
I didn't put any effort in.
The day of the test, it would be, okay, pull out study guide, pull out my notes, cram everything into my head, get the test, boom.
They also just go over everything in class anyway. So it's like, if you just pay attention enough while you're in class, you're going to remember.
No, I hated taking stuff home with me. I'm like, I want my own personal time. All right.
Yeah.
You have your school time. Let me have my own alone time, especially once I started having to work. It's like, I don't want to take homework home with me. I have to work. All right. Like, give me some time to myself. Yeah. Jeez.
When me and my friend, when we lined up our schedules for those last 2 years, we of course had like a study hall period. We would get like all of our homeworks done because we also, we'd look because everything you can pretty much look up. There's so many like answer guides for like all the test books and everything. So we looked those up. Maybe I'd work on one, he'd work on one. We would just trade and then copy. And it was
boom.
We never took anything home, really. It was pretty simple.
Yeah, I did. In high school, I would legitimately almost never do homework at home. I would do it in study halls or one of my classes where like we didn't really do much or had free time. It was like dead set. And if I didn't get it done in school, oh, well, that's what I completed.
We had also like so many group chats, like for different classes, like our Spanish group chat. And be like, hey, anybody got like the answers for like this? And someone would send it, and then like I think half of us would probably just copy it down from that person.
I never really did too much copying. I was the person that everybody would copy off of. Everybody would be like, we know you did your homework. All right, let us see.
Yeah, I get that sometimes too. I'm like, all right, here you go.
No. But yeah, there was definitely like the one math class. I very easily could have gotten an A if I'd actually finished my homework. Because I ended up with a B+. But I had so many like partially completed homework because I would just try to do it in the study hall before. And that teacher would give like a good amount of homework because he
Okay.
wanted you to actually learn.
Yeah.
And it was math too, which I always did pretty well in math, but I hated math.
Yeah. I never hated it. I always did pretty well.
I mean, I did well. I just hated it. Though I didn't do well when I was younger. I got put in 6th grade. I was in like the basic math class, not the advanced one, because I did so poorly in 5th grade. 5th grade was a rough year for me altogether. So they put me in like the basic math class, and then it was so easy for me. Like, actually, the friend that I was assigned for the paper mache project, me and him were in that class, and we would both get done like super easy because we were way too smart to be in that class. And we'd just be sitting there like, we get done like a quarter of the way into the class with whatever work she'd give us for the day, and we just sit there and talk to each other the whole time. Like, that was how we spent the majority of the year.
Yeah. I can't remember if me and Kirk were in the honors or regular, but we were in a math class, and you go over the lesson for the week, whatever. And me and Kirk, we take like a test after like Friday or whatever. We come back. He's like, "All right, everybody failed the test." So he's like, "We're doing everybody's going to relearn it this week." And then he's like, "Except for Jack and Kirk, you guys passed. So you guys, this is your study hall for the week." So me and Kirk are just like, we have nothing to do for the whole week in that class because we passed the test.
And then I remember geometry. A lot of people struggled in geometry. Some of the smartest people I knew struggled in geometry for some reason.
Huh.
And I never had any difficulty with geometry. To be fair, the teacher liked me a lot, but
We had a really good geometry teacher at our school.
a lot of people complained about her. I have a tendency to have a lot of teachers that people don't like and complain about and say that they didn't teach them anything. And I'm like, I'm doing fine. Like, they're nice enough. I think it's that, again, I'm able to learn on my own pretty easily. So I don't like depend on a really good teacher. I don't know. Who knows?
We had a lot of really good teachers, I thought. Our geometry one, though, he was like super smart. He like taught for a while, then he left to go to Clemson because they gave him a full ride to get his PhD there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he left for a while. He got his PhD. I think he's back now teaching.
The teacher that I had for that Algebra 2 class honors college course that I got the B+ in, he was probably one of the best teachers in the high school because he would actually teach you stuff, like, legitimately. One of the most difficult teachers in the high school. Like, a lot of people would struggle in his class, but a lot of people who struggled in that class would end up being like loving him by the end of it because he would actually teach them how to do it,
Right.
if they sought him out. Because he was a tough teacher. And you had to seek him out for him to help you. But if you sought him out to help you, he would help you, and like you do fine in his class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm about to go back into all the academics.
I
and
know.
stuff.
Yeah. It is the one hard thing. Like, I want to go back to college, but man, I really don't. I'm not a huge fan of the student life.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of craving going back though. So, like, there are some things that, of course, I don't want to deal with, but at the same time, like, I feel like I've reoriented my my outlook on learning a lot in the last few years since I graduated college. And so I'm like, okay, I kind of think I know now what to look for when I'm going back. Because before it's just kind of like, oh, just get stuff done, get it done. But now I'm like, okay, yeah, get stuff done. But now I know like how to learn.
Yeah, you do get a
and
perspective.
apply it into my actual life, and can go back for something that I really want to do, or at least have an interest in.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, like going through high school, it's just stuff that you have to learn.
Yeah.
In college, I kind of just picked a degree and then just
Which is
stuck
most
to
people,
it.
yeah.
I'm still not 100% sure that I'll end up being a therapist. Like if things don't work out, I wouldn't be like, oh man, I really wanted to be one.
Right.
It's just kind of like, this is what my interest is in right now. So
Pretty strong interest, though.
for the most part, yeah, I could easily be like, I could see myself being like a teacher or professor too.
I could totally see that. Yeah.
And then if for some reason, I don't think it'll happen, but if some reason my writing or anything blew up, I actually don't know how much I'd enjoy that as a lifestyle, unless it was like super, like I was so successful as a writer that I didn't have to write that much.
Right.
If it was like to a point where it was like I had to keep pumping out works, I would hate it. I would hate it so much.
Yeah. It's like they say about bands. It's like you have forever to make the first album and then like 6 months to make the second one.
Yeah. Yep. Because I just enjoy it as a hobby right now. And if I had to end up doing that to where my livelihood depended on it, then I'd have nothing to help me cope the way that it helps me cope. So
Right. Yeah.
Well,
That'd be a fun lifestyle though, like traveling around to do like talks about your book and everything.
No, there's definitely, that's the biggest thing that interests me about like a more artistic life is just the freedom of like being able to go and do stuff,
which is very artistic. Onset, like you want the freedom.
But I don't know. I could honestly, whatever freaking life ends up coming my way, I'm gonna live it.
Yeah.
So I don't have a dead set. I could be the artistic, independent person that just does his own thing, travels a lot, does all that, or settle down with an actual job, find a wife, have kids. Either way.
Yeah.
So
I could see myself being the suburban dad. You know what I mean?
I could too. Very easily. Very easily. Honestly, I could see you, even if like you were to never get married and have kids, I could still see you as a suburban dad. You're
Absolutely. Just out there mowing, just how's it going, neighbor?
Just like pushing the swing, even though there's well, what am I kidding? A suburban dad isn't pushing their kid on the swing.
Oh no. They don't love their kids.
You just have an empty playground in your backyard. You're like, oh, that's for the kids. They said they wanted a playground. Whatever. I don't know. Kid stuff. You know.
I had to put all that flower bed for the wife, I don't want it, but my wife really wants it.
Like your random strangers just come and like act as your kids and your wife. And you're just like, those damn kids. The wife said it again in the flower bed. It's like, who is that woman? That's the wife of the day.
It's my wife of the week.
Did you just have like a blast of like your future before?
It's like, whoa, it feels so real.
I'm gonna see you with like your cigar and your scotch. Are you more of a scotch person? Which is like your favorite?
I prefer scotch.
Okay, scotch.
I've been doing a lot of beer right now just because most social events are like beer.
Yeah,
but
I just mean more like your armchair, like relaxing. Drink.
Scotch or bourbon. Yeah,
that makes sense. I don't really know that much about the personality traits of each drink, where it's like, oh, that type of person drinks scotch, or that type of person drinks bourbon. So
cool people drink scotch. So
Jack's drinks scotch. Translation.
That's the same thing. We said the exact same thing I just said.
It's like the Obama no, it's not interpreter. What is it? The Key and Peele sketch.
Oh yeah. It's like anger interpreter or something like that.
Oh, is it? It is interpreter. Okay, yeah. It's like explaining what Jack really means.
Yeah.
All right.
You're qualified for that job. By now, you know me enough to like you're qualified.
I've done the hard learn.
Yeah.
I'm like an anthropologist, right? That's when where they like go and they like put themselves in a culture and like learn.
Yeah.
That's an anthropologist, I think.
So, yeah.
I've been studying the wild Jack for years now. I just like present my study findings to like a whole room of people. I'm like, all right, here's what we've learned.
You're just in my apartment filming, like, here we see Jack in his natural habitat. Just me sitting in my chair, just like drinking.
The wild Jack.
It's been an hour. That's crazy.
I know. It's a good conversation.
Yeah.
Kind of don't remember what we talked about.
No.
Like usual.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good place to stop for now.
Yeah, that's good.
Give us another 2 weeks to fill back up with whatever we need.
A natty end, as they say. Natural ending.
Oh.
I'm using that youth dialect.
I don't like the...
You know, like natty lights? Like those are, like it's a beer.
I hate the term natty.
Or like when you go down to Cincinnati, natty.
I actually was close to Cincinnati.
I mean...
When I went on this trip this weekend.
A little bit.
What? No. So it wasn't as close to Columbus as I thought.
Oh.
Because it wasn't in Columbus. It was near Columbus. But we were actually ended up being closer to Cincinnati than we were to Columbus.
Oh, that's probably a long drive.
Yeah. It was a decent drive. That's for sure. All right. I think that's a good place to stop. We'll see you next week for anybody who's still listening.
The new podcast. Anybody who's still listening?
Hey, if you're still here, good job. Congrats.
You made it this far.
Maybe they're studying us.
Oh, they're
where
the
exhibit-
anthropologists.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's it.